everybody. Got a crazy one, another crazy one. I don't know what it is, but I always go to the movies and I see things and I'm just kind of like, what the fuck am I watching? Crazy one for you, Infinity Loop, starring Alexander Skarsgård and Mia Goth. I did not watch any trailers. I didn't even know this movie was being made or even existed. The only reason why the only way I found out about this is on TikTok. There was a TikToker that was basically kind of reviewing it. I guess he got an early access, and I just saw the poster and I heard him say who was in it, and I was like, holy crap! Pause. Let me just swipe, and I want to see this without any kind of preconception of what this movie was. And what the hell did I watch, man? I'm hoping that you guys can help me figure this movie out because this is bonkers. And yeah, man, this is really fucking bonkers. Let's get into it. Here we go. All right, before I start with Infinity Loop and just getting into how bonkers it is, there's a couple of things that I want to point out that I actually really fucking liked about this movie. The Foley sound design, I believe that's what you call it, Foley. When there's things happening, I don't know if it was my theater sound system or what, but you can literally hear like the ripping of flesh. The graphics was pretty on par. They were using practical, what is it? I don't know what you call it. I'm not a movie person that knows all these terms, but like it's like practical design where instead of relying on CG graphics for like the gore and stuff like that, it looked like they use like real practical I don't know, like silicone or something. So A+ for that. And another thing, so I'm a designer by trade. That's what I do. And I loved the typography in this fucking movie. I think it's some of the most beautiful typography in a movie that I've ever seen ever. And that's kind of funny, right? I actually appreciated the typography over the actual movie. So that this is why I'm kind of like at a disconnect. Even the end credits were fucking awesome, like in terms of the typography. So yeah, I blah. Okay, getting into the movie. Now this movie stars this guy, William Foster, or James, right? He calls himself James, and his wife M. They go to this resort. And upon going to this resort, some shit happens. I don't want to give too much away because if you're gonna go see this movie, I encourage you, go see it. But they go to this resort. He's trying to find inspiration to write his next book, I guess. And it's been like 6 years or so that they mentioned that since he last wrote. And some shit happens and things go south. Now, when things go south, I tell you, they go fucking bonkers south. At one point in the movie, I literally thought I was watching this old movie. I mean, it's still in my head, like rent free. The scary videotape that you pop in that movie, The Ring. And for those youngins, a videotape is that big old thing that we used to call a cassette VHS, and you needed a VCR to put in there. Anyways, you would put it in there and it had all these like weird graphic scenes of just weirdness and stuff like that, and then you would die in 7 days, right? So that was The Ring. But there are some cinematic things that I was like, what the hell? Like, is this like the Ring video that I'm living in or what? I felt the story was kind of everywhere. It just really was everywhere. I think that like horror movies nowadays are trying to push the not the envelope, but this notion that you have to start off the first part of your horror film pretty good and then just completely like nosedive, in my opinion. In terms of like the story and what it is. That's why I'm asking for help, literally. Help me figure out what this movie was about. The title doesn't really give you too much. Infinity Loop, right? When you go see the movie, I haven't seen the trailer, which mind you, I'm gonna cut this in between and I'm gonna stop this and watch the trailer so that way I can kind of come back and be like, okay. But yeah, I haven't watched the trailer. I didn't see anything, so I guess it says it in the title of what the movie is about. I don't know. You know what? Let me just pause here. I'm gonna go ahead and watch that trailer so I can see if it actually kind of goes to the trailer or does it not. I don't know. Just, one second. Hold on. I just saw the trailer for the first time. I saw the movie before I saw the trailer. Okay, so they do give away some of the stuff. So that, yes, they copy themselves. I just don't understand the point of the movie. There's a part in the trailer and in the movie where they say something about your transformation. I'm like, transformation of what? I don't know if like horror films are trying to be meta or have some kind of like psychological meaning towards things. I don't get it. Maybe I'm just a simpleton. Maybe my brain is not that expansive where I just don't get it. And maybe that's why I'm kind of like on the fence whether or not I like this movie. And that's where I'm at right now. I think it's just because I don't understand it. You think of Infinity, you think of like the thing that the guy steps into, Alexander Skarsgård's character, James, as like the Lazarus pit. Like, you know, you kind of like redo yourself, reanimate yourself, and you know, you kind of take the life of that one that just kind of died. But as the movie goes on, it gets even more crazy. Like at first you're kind of like, oh, this is cool, and then you're kind of like, what the fuck, more flashes, and then you're like, oh, boobies, and then you're like, oh, ding dings, and then you're like, oh, semen, and you're like, what the hell am I watching? I thought it was a fun watch. It was very fun. I wasn't too bored, but I think that like it was just kind of crazy for me. And you know, again, this is not a movie review. It's just my honest reaction to this movie. I say it all the time because I want to make it clear. I'm not trying to sway people to go see this movie or not. I'm not trying to say, oh, this was a badass movie or not, because ultimately we all have our own opinions, and you know, sometimes movies are just not for us, and that's what I love about movies, right? There's an audience for all of them. There's gonna be people that love this movie and got it right off the bat. I'm just probably not one of them, and that's okay. But yeah, the movie for me was just a little bit everywhere. I couldn't put my finger on it. Maybe I need to just watch Disney Channel or Disney movies that literally just kind of like spell it out for me and I don't have to like think about it. I don't know. Maybe, like I said earlier, maybe I'm a simpleton. I don't know. But yeah, guys, help me figure this out. What was the point of them recycling themselves? And if this is too much of a spoiler, I'm sorry. I don't think it is, because you kind of get it in the trailer that I just saw right now, that it really is, you know, kind of like a recycled life. And then the way it ended, I don't want to give too much away, but I was just like, why? Between the last scuffle and then the way the scene you know, ended with James, and I just was like, why? I didn't quite understand the point of it all. I really didn't. But it was fun. It was a fun movie. Man, maybe sometimes these kind of movies don't need in-depth explanations of what they are. And maybe they are just exactly what they are. Maybe it's just a movie that was supposed to have people have a good time with it. But yeah. Oh, I should have probably said graphic alert. This is kind of a very graphic movie. They literally put it at the very beginning of the movie in red. It's black screen, red letters. You know, I don't remember the warning, but there was a warning. And yeah, it's pretty out there. I will say, well, earlier when I said semen, yeah, there's a semen shot. Sorry, spoiler alert, unless like you're really looking forward to that semen shot. I've never seen that in movies, not even in like B-side horror movies, and I wouldn't even classify this one as a horror movie either. Like, that's another thing. It was just too out there for me. And that, again, this is just my opinion, and I wouldn't call it a horror movie. It's more of like a psychological thriller, I think. But yeah, I mean, outside of the craziness, it's a pretty fun watch. Again, I recommend everybody to go see every movie. Develop your own opinion, whether you like it or not. It's cool. Let me know if you agree with me or not. And help me figure this one out, because I'm still like kind of like, what? But yeah, you see a little bit of everything: boobies, vagina, semen, dingling, stabbings, blood, sex, drugs. It's one for the books. It's pretty out there. Graphic design is awesome. Love the movie poster, like you'll see right here. And typography is amazing. Sound design is amazing. I just couldn't get with the story, I guess. Kind of was like, why? I don't know. But anyways, guys, like I said, if you agree with me or don't agree with me, let me know in the comments. Help me figure it out too. If you have, because I feel like this movie, sorry, I know I'm kind of dragging it on, but I feel like this movie has legs for people to kind of like talk about. And I think that's probably what the director and writer wanted. Like they wanted a piece that they could leave the audience kind of wondering like why or what happens next, or is there like, I don't know if they're gonna make a part 2. I don't see a reason for it, but psychologically you're kind of like thinking like, okay, how do these pieces fit? Maybe that's the point of this movie, to get people to question. So if you have a theory, I'd love to hear it. Let me know in the comments. So with that being said, thank you so much guys for tuning in, and I will come back with another honest reaction for you. So if you like videos like this, go ahead and give me a subscribe, and catch you on my live streams. They're pretty fun. I think I might be doing another one later today or some other time. But yeah, guys, take it easy, spread that love, and go see some movies. Let me know what you think. All right, later, guys.